Adopting correct posture is something we all want to do, but what does it actually mean and how do we actually achieve it? We've spoken to the experts to get their point of view and hopefully pick up a few handy tips.
One of the most common things that I see in practice is people who come in with low back pain after running, and what we find is that they have very tight quads relative to their hamstrings, and that's often because of pelvic misalignments that they might have, or just poor conditioning or not specific enough when they're doing their training. What that does is it pulls the pelvis forward like this and often makes it torsion as well, twisting from side to side. That makes for a really uneven running style, so it can affect your training, your recovery and your performance as well. Also, they can really suffer from delayed onset muscle soreness. They're really common indicators that either the muscles haven't been trained correctly or they may have a low back misalignment or a pelvic imbalance. If you have a torsioned pelvis or a misalignment in the lower part of your spine and you are carrying that body around for years and years and doing normal day-to-day things like sitting at a desk or training at the gym, what it does is it causes increased wear in the disc spaces and also in the joints of the facets of the spine. So that definitely predisposes you to degenerative joint disease or arthritis.
The most common posture problem we actually see is people who carry their head very much forward in this really closed down, cramped position. The neck muscles in the rear here actually have to work 10 times harder to be able to support that head in the less than biomechanically ideal position. Well, the main muscle groups, the biggest one is the upper trapezius here. That's the one that has to do all the work in supporting the head, especially in that sort of forward position. So that muscle, when the head is in that forward position, gets very weak and very tense and very tight. So therefore, purely just because of the fact that it's having to support the head. Another big issue we see is more left and right differences, where it's very common to assess someone's posture and see that one of the shoulders is sitting up quite a bit higher than the other side. And more commonly, this is as a result of overusing one particular side of the body, right compared to left. And so it's very important again to consider, stretching that out, releasing some of the structural build-up of tension at the deepest level in the spine, and that's where a chiropractor can come in handy.
Muscle imbalances can have a really big effect on your pelvis. They can make your pelvis not able to return to its normal position. And then when you're carrying your body around during the day, sitting at desk, walking to work, just doing normal day-to-day things, your body's not able to function correctly. And this can lead to changes in posture, but also it can predispose you to injuries as well.
The long-term problems that arise from poor posture can be initially just symptomatic ones. So things like suboccipital headaches is a really common one, where basically the muscles at the very top of the skull or the very top of the neck are contracted around those nerves that go up into the head and can give you a headache. So that's one of them. Neck pain is another common problem, but also neck pain with referral of the pain down into the arm as well can also be another issue. More of a long-term or long-standing concern is things like it speeds degeneration of the spine. Okay, so you can actually have the lower discs of the cervical spine wearing out at a faster rate because of the stresses that are placed on the discs in the lower neck.
It's really important to do resistance exercises for the legs if you're going to be doing a lot of running, to make sure that you're building the muscles correctly and building them equally from side to side, as well as front of the body and back of the body. This is really good to prevent pelvic misalignments and also for injury prevention as well. There
are ways you can retrain your body out of this forward posture. But sometimes if you've been in that posture for many, many years, it can take as well some structural correction to allow your body to actually regain that normal, what they call the cervical lordosis in through here. Doing the structural correction work can allow the movement to be restored, and therefore you can then build on that through doing the exercise.
It's really helpful if you can do the exercises in a controlled environment. It's very difficult to be able to tell all by yourself whether you're working the muscles correctly, whether you're balancing them from side to side. It's much better if you can do it with the aid of somebody who knows what to look for.